What is happening over there? On June 17th, my wife told me she was talking to another man. She just clicked with him and didn't know how she felt about him but was feeling guilty because of it and felt she had to tell me. I asked her if this other man knew how she was feeling and she told me no. I asked her to let it be and not bring it up and suggest she not talk to him anymore until it was figured out. Then we made love as usual most nights, and then the next day she told me she was leaving the following day after we dropped my stepdaughter off to her father's for the summer. She needed a week to find her clarity. I reluctantly agreed but didn't feel I really had any other choice in the matter. She came back the following day in a good mood, then proceeded to tell me she said at her friend's across the street her car was there all night and that she was just having a midlife crisis. I said okay then. Then she told me she was leaving again for a bit. I told her, okay, I'm making dinner tomorrow, will you be there? And she said yes. She didn't come home that night but was there after work for dinner. She was in a rotten mood. I asked her how her search for clarity was. She told me she would give me a percentage each day and Sunday was 45%. Got mad and yelled at me to quit pushing her. I was just asking and I did in a calm, casual manner. She ate some of her dinner then left, ignoring our son, and didn't come back until Friday. Wednesday, I went to her work to get my script filled and she was not there. Her co-workers told me she had gone home sick and they asked me if we had a bad dinner last night because we both looked ill. I sent her test, asked if she was home and okay, and she just responded with "we're done." I tried to get an answer from her. Finally, she agreed to meet me down the street. When we met, she admitted to the cheating on me with tears in her eyes. She would not look at me. I immediately told her I forgave her. It does not need to end because of this. She said, "You can't forgive me for this. I'm sorry. I couldn't forgive you if it was you who had did this." I told her I swear on our kids' lives I forgive her. It doesn't matter. Forgive and forget. Let's move on. She kicked me out of the car and I did not see her again for 2 days. She came and took our son to his doctor's appointment. I still think it was so she could get anti-anxiety pills, but she claims no. She was there for the weekend because my mother was in town for a festival that was going on and she almost pretended to be happy. Her brother came as well and he knew what was going on and tried to talk to her, but all he did was make her angrier about it and her attitude continued. She got messed up on her pills from the doctor and a bit of beer and spilled a little, saying this guy was 2 years younger than me and that he was not even good in bed. Anyway, after that point she would show up when she wanted to at between 1:30 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. and a few times closer to 3 a.m. and wake up at 8 or 8:30 a.m. and go to work, never seeing our son. Then at the end of July she told me she was moving out and wanted her own place for some space. So, I helped her. I lent her the money for the security deposit and first month's rent. She moved out on July 24th. I actually did the moving. She just helped me move all the stuff. Her and I did this alone while giving a story to our 2 kids. Stepdaughter was back for the week. It is still noteworthy that while our daughter was there, she only left every other night, including the first night she was back. So, I told her she would have to make her car payment and car insurance, all in my name, and pay me directly. I would give her $25 a month toward her rent, and I have continued to pay her cell phone bill. I have also given her money this week for food. Seems as she is taking our son for this week and she had no food in the house. But we agreed to and wrote down rules for our separation, a 30-day set and a 6-month set. Rule in both of them was no dating or bonding outside of marriage, and last night she admitted to still sleeping with the guy. I asked her to stop that, as part of our agreement was no talking to either one of us. But I asked her to stop sleeping with him and respect the marriage, and she got mad but said that she would. I don't believe her at all. So now that they are friends and not lovers, she feels it will be okay to have him around my son, which I told her absolutely not, but she said she would do it anyway. Yet after telling me she wants a divorce early in the evening, later in the evening she said she didn't know what she wanted. I just told her I love and that she is worth waiting for to me. Also, she told me last night early in the night that there were 2 main reasons why we can't work things out. She doesn't want to try because I wouldn't listen to her before, well after Feb, because the company I got bought out from I was worried about losing my job, and she said it don't matter if we are poor again, we can make. Well, she says that now, but she sure didn't say anything when I was going through it. The other reason is he can't forgive herself for what she done. It is unforgivable and she can't deal with it. I told her that was a cop-out. I had forgiven her. She can stop the issues and we could try. She admitted if we did try that we could have a beautiful thing, a great relationship. But she doesn't want to try. What if it went back the way it was? I told her you are in the driver's seat. You get your divorce with no contest from me and we move. She said yeah, but then I would have to give up my freedom and happiness. No, you have admitted if we got back together you would be happy. Then she said yes, well there is still the whole I am not in love with your part. I told her that comes with time and if we are happy it will come. She loves me but is not in love with me. As a disclaimer, she is bipolar, depressed, depends on the doctor, and she quit taking her meds 3 days before all of this started and was trying to quit smoking. She is now in counseling and started last week at my behest. So that is a start, and with her abusive childhood she has a lot of issues to get over. But I love her and I want us to at least try. Info: wife 32, me 28, daughter 10, son 6 will be 7 on the 20th of this month. Not finance her. That is going to be a topic of discussion on our first joint counseling session Monday the 9th. I'm done. I will only pay for her cell phone as she can't afford one, and she will have my kids every other week. We have an agreement between us that is written but nothing through the courts. I have consulted an attorney and I have order of separate maintenance papers drawn up. I just don't have it in me to sign them and turn them in. I just want things to work out so badly. Attorney just told me to take my son and pray for my stepdaughter. But I can't abandon her. She has lived with me since she has been 23 months old and I am her father as far as I am concerned. This has all got on so weird. I start avoiding contact and now she is acting all strange. Sarah telling me how much she just wants OM to move out of state and solve the problem, which is no longer the 23rd. He wants to stay as long as he can because he loves her. She feels the OM is pushing her with "I love you and you're the one" talk. We spoke again on Sunday after I picked my son up from church. Oh, it was very strange to see OM there and not hiding. He was shaking like a scared and I did nothing to make him feel better, just didn't make any rude comments, just got my son and left. Got back from church to drop off my son and was gone in WW and I spoke for quite a while about where we were and how she was feeling and what went wrong, and she cried and gave me a hug. Then followed me to my house so she could take our son swimming in the pool while I went to work. While I was getting my boots, she asked if she could try something to see if it still works. I told her sure, having no idea what she was talking about. And she kissed me and not a peck on the cheek. I asked her if it worked for her. She said that was for her to know. Then she did it again. Asked her if it worked and she said she wasn't going to tell, and I told her, well, ain't you cocky, you just assume it worked for me. She got all sad looking and said, well, does it? I don't want to waste my time. Told her it did and then told her obviously it did for her or she wouldn't have done it a second time. Then she kissed me twice more before I left. When I was leaving, she gave me a peck on the cheek and I asked her what hell that was for, and she said, well, that's how friends kiss. I said, oh, we're friends, and she kissed me as she had done before. Left it at that. She came over on Monday so I could see my son. She joked about throwing OM in the trash with the trash bags she was taking, then told me she was on a fence and confused and wasn't sure what to do, but the counselor on Thursday she hoped would tell her what to do. She has a personal session, then we have a joint session that follows immediately afterward. So yeah, we a few hours Saturday, Sunday, 1 hour Monday. She is coming over tonight to hang out and communicate. We have counseling on Thursday and then our son's birthday dinner for us 3 on Friday. But OM was at her house last night and she is still plans on going to OM's sister's wedding on Saturday. I have a plan A, I think, from what I understand from it. 1. Be nice but no, not contact her and only speak about the kids. 2. Tell her affair must end and no contact with OM again ever. 3. I am still willing to try once he is over. 4. Keep everything simple and to the point. Trouble is that now she is scheduling time. She is the one engaging and actually using the words plan. She is on a new medication now. But is it that, or is she mad because OM did my work for me and exposed the at work? Or is it because she knows the money train is over and she knows she has a car payment at the end of the month and rent to pay, and I don't think she will be able to make either? Or is it that all her friends have told her that I won't be waiting around much longer? Or is it that she realizes what is about to happen to her children? She already knows that once our stepdaughter comes home, if I have to tell her the truth, I don't see us coming back. Maybe the has run its natural course and she is starting to wake up. Oh, I exposed her to everyone that will listen, and OM's family knows about the affair and on the surface at least seems supportive. But then again, OM is 26 and this is his second GF. Wow, 26 and second GF. Wow, I mean wow. I know I need to just tell her how it is, which is what Thursday being for. I think, maybe, don't know what it's for, besides she will make a decision then. I just want to positively influence it between now and then. And I only have today and tomorrow morning. I do want her back in the house. I do want her to not be angry with me, but I was taken back by her actions. It was the last thing I was thinking about. Aside from the physical thing, so tossed out, I left the whole kissing thing as it was. She knows how I feel. I guess I just have to be able to find the balance between telling her how I feel and knowing I love her and want to make things work and being too pushy. I don't want to give ultimatums, but I thought that is pushed here, and then we can work on the marriage. Or did I get that wrong? I just have never been lost like this before. I'm a straightforward, even cocky person normally. Last night when she came over as planned to pick up our son, we did not speak of us at all except one passing inside joke. I was just nice and had pleasant conversation, and she stayed around for 5 hours. I had already made some commitments for her which I still filled from before I figured out what plan it was. I went to her place and hooked up her internet for her. I did buy her a pack of cigarettes and a Monster Java drink. The house was clean and vacuumed and looked rather nice for not having any furniture, lol. And she received the copy of Beauty and the Beast I ordered for her favorite move that got lost. But that was ordered before Plan A, so all of my commitments are done. Plan Enable is over and Plan A now begins full strength, which should be interesting at our joint counseling session tonight. It's not marriage counseling because that I think scares her. It's just a joint counseling session where we get to discuss our marriage. I swear I will be taking you all advice and I will be asking for help on what may seem stupid, but with my emotion and obvious closeness to the situation I have my own fog to contend with. It's just quite the same as hers. As far as my son, he is having a difficult time and misses his time with his father desperately, and has told his mother for the first time last night he wants to stay with Daddy. WW and I spoke last night about putting him into counseling. Our daughter will be in counseling as soon as she gets back home, as she knows nothing now. Even if we move back in together before that, there are issues at her father's, sperm donors, that must be addressed. Had a horrible weekend with her. Saturday morning, we were getting back together and making plans. All fell apart after my son's birthday party. But I was honest with her as to what she has done. She asked. I was not angry or disrespectful. Then told her I was no longer going to finance her life. She offered just to have her check direct deposited into my account because her bills are more than her check. I told her no. I'm not responsible for her eviction notice when it arrives, or her not making her car payment or car insurance. But if she needs someone to talk to, I am her. But as far as we go, marriage cannot survive long with a third party. She commits to coming back, then changes her mind. Last night she decided again to end the affair. She booted OM out of her apartment this morning, then came over. I held her and she cried. As the day went on, she kept getting more and more distant from me and then left to get cigarettes 2 hours ago. She can't call as she deleted his number and otherwise does not know it, but told me how she wanted him to hold her, not me. And she didn't want to talk to me. Well, that was 2 hours ago. She left for smokes. She promised to be here tonight to get the kids on the bus for first day of school, taking meds and going to bed. About 3 months later, OP provided an update to what happened. I went with Plan B for 2 weeks, decided to file after that. She was so happy. Then she picked up the papers. Wouldn't give her the satisfaction of serving her at her place or work, as OM would be there. She came over that night after telling me how happy she was to have the papers and hasn't left since. Oh, as for OM, he was cheating on her for the last 1 to 2 months of their no contact, and we are working our plan. So far so good. My comment: good, don't let her treat you like the backup plan. We see time and time again, being the backup plan is the worst, because you have no one you can trust afterwards. Story 2. Trying to be brave. Here is my story. Wheels and I have been married for 7 years now. Last July I started texting a male friend of ours, and it became an real quick. I didn't realize that I had some needs that were not being met because Wheels and my relationship had always been so open and honest. Family and friends always looked up to us on how well our marriage was working, so it became a shock to me that I was having feelings for this male friend of ours. I was in denial that what I was in right at the beginning. I loved my husband, and I told my male friend this plenty of times, but I would not stop what I was doing, because at the time it was harmless. The lasted for about 3 months. Wheels confronted me about it, and I did not want to lie to him, mostly because I was glad that he found out, not in a bad way, but in a good way, that we will be able to start working on our marriage. Months go by, and I kept telling myself that everything will be fine until I found someone to vent with. Ladies, please do not vent with male friends. Anyway, needless to say, I was having another months later with another close friend of ours, someone we knew for 5 years. The first was only months after meeting him. With the second it was quicker than the first. I actually fell in love with him within weeks. And by then my feelings for Wheels were totally gone. I was a different person. My family, friends, and kids saw this. And because I had so much fog in front of me, I didn't realize I was hurting my own family. Denial. It's amazing how just one little word can ruin your whole life. During the second I would not end it. Wheels found out right when it started, because of the patterns. He's a very smart man. We did MC, read together, etc. I was literally sabotaging my marriage and my own life just to be with this other man. Because I was not ending the relationship, I kept telling myself I'll do MC, and if I still feel the same way in the next 9 months, then it's over. You see, ladies or gentlemen, what you think about, you bring about, and that is totally true. If you think your marriage is going to end, it will, and that, my friend, is called self-sabotage. Wheels knew exactly what he had to do. He had to expose this Only a handful of people knew this was going on, and Wheels knew that this would devastate the affair. And it did. After the exposure, I was sure never to see Wheels ever again. I hated him at that point, and threatened him with everything you can think of. I was the one that left. He didn't give me the Plan B letter. I volunteered to leave. Not to the other man. You see, at this point I realized I was messed up, and I knew I needed help mentally. So, I went to my sisters in Colorado, knowing full well what my intentions were, and they were fix me emotionally, and to never see Wheels ever again. I wouldn't have any contact with anyone, except my 2 boys, even the other man. My main purpose was to literally fix myself, because I knew I was emotionally broken, and I couldn't do that with Wheels around, not when I had so much resentment inside myself. Within 6 hours, literally 6 hours of me being there, something changed. I don't know what to call it, other than a change of heart. These were the facts that I strongly believed. I was not happy. I was in emotional pain for 9 months. During the I was different, not myself. I did not love myself. I punished myself for the things I was doing to my family. I was self-sabotaging my life. After 6 hours, I realized what I needed to do. I needed to get my life back. My husband. my kids, and everything that made me so happy before those Satan has one purpose in this life, and that is to break families apart. Why? Because there is so much love there. The reason why I wasn't myself because I believed it really wasn't me. Yes, I knew the actions of what I was doing, but if you read all of these posts you realize there is a pattern that is identical. Every WH or WW says the exact same thing. I couldn't believe it until I read them, because I said the same words. And guess what? You want to know who put those words in your WW or WH mind? Satan. It has been almost 3 months since the exposure, and let me tell you how the facts are now. I am so much happier. I feel humble and blessed with the great husband that I have. I feel love in my family now. I feel remorse on what I did to my family. I am doing everything in my power to prevent a future affair. Here is what I am doing. 1. No talking to male friends without wheels there. That includes talking on the phone, text, and emails. If I am talking to an old friend, Wheels is present, but that happens very rarely. 2. He has all my passwords to everything. 3. I do not delete any text messages, so he can see them all. 4. We are fulfilling each other's needs, practicing openness and honesty with our feelings, spending 15 hours of UA per week, setting goals for the future. 5. I am also respecting Wheels as a husband. 6. Keeping myself busy during the day while he is gone, but as soon as he is home, I am there kissing him and hugging him. I can probably go on forever. Smile. I just hope that I can help other people who are in the same situation, even if we are only in our 3rd month of recovery. So, a couple weeks ago H told me that he deleted from FB. Don't ask why he didn't do it sooner because I don't even know Smile anyway. That didn't bother me. Was actually relieved that he did so. I no longer have a Facebook page and probably won't ever have one. If I did set one up, my husband will approve the friends, not I anyway. So last night H told me that the was trying to contact him, apparently trying to still apologize. After he told me I got so frightened. Then I asked him if he replied back. And H said no way, never going to talk to him. I was so scared that H replied back, I don't want the know how we are doing. I want him to forget about us altogether. There is no reason why he should be contacting H. When he told me he didn't reply, I was so relieved. You have no idea how scared I was when he told me. He told me right before I had to leave for a meeting. After I left, I said a prayer in my heart asking God to give me strength to fight this feeling I was having at that time. I went to the meeting feeling so much better, even forgot about the conversation. I kept telling God how thankful I was for giving me a loving husband and a second chance to this man's life. At this point I am very happy. H and I have grown so much since the ended, and I am not going to have anything screw that up. I am taking every precaution for it not to happen again. 1. We want to avoid our family because it will be easier for us to justify what we are doing. When we see them happy, we get angry, upset, jealous, resentful, etc. So, the reason why she doesn't want to see you and the kids is because of this reason. Same reason why we don't like it when our BS is nice to us, because we feel bad on what we are doing, so we just get angry. That is why planning is so important. So that the WS feels guilty all the time, and when the fog lifts, they will realize that the best thing for them is right in front of them, their family. 2. We are very unhappy in our marriage because we know we are the ones ruining it. I think it's so hilarious that the WS will blame the BS for their unhappiness. Even if she tells you that the is over, she is lying. We lie, again, to justify what we are doing, to convince ourselves that the only thing that can help us become happy is to have an But the big old truth about that is the only reason why we are unhappy in our marriage is because we are having an and it is addiction. Isn't it funny when you hear all these people who say I haven't been happy for years, but yet the only person who is making themselves unhappy is themselves. So, they think having an will fix it, and guess what? It only deepens their unhappiness. 3. WS loves to blame their unhappiness to their BS. We think it is their fault for letting us find someone else. We will think of every little thing that our spouse has done to us that made us feel bad, letting them know that these were the reasons why we had an but in reality, it is just another lie. WS are very good at lying to everyone. We are the best liars. Want to know why? Because we do the biggest lie there is, and that is we lie to ourselves. We literally self-sabotage our marriage and life. WS are very selfish. Until that fog lifts, we do not realize it. This is my favorite phrases that all BS say. I love you, but not in love with you. This is the best lie that WS give their BSs mainly because of these reasons. 1. They know deep down they are still in love with you. 2. This is the only thing they can say to justify what they are doing without feeling guilty. And does it work? H3LL no. Smile, they still feel guilty. It's just another lie to them. 3. They think by saying this over and over to their BS they will actually believe what they are saying. It's kind of like trying to convince your black shirt to be the color white, when in reality it will always be black. Your WS knows deep down they love you, in love. But the way they feel inside, they always have to lie to ourselves and the person we love the most, so we can stop feeling this emptiness, loneliness, and unhappy. So, saying I love you, but not in love with you, they think it will fix this pain they have. It doesn't work. We can lie, cheat, and try to be happy, but in the end, we are not. I wrote this after 1 week at my sister's house. Now remember that this is from email and my emotions were very high. So, a lot of the things you will read I have repeated over and over. This was my apology letter. Since I didn't have my phone with me and I was focusing on fixing myself, my sister took it the whole time I was there, and this is what I wrote. I just want everyone to know how sorry I am for what I have done. I know that it hurt my family, his family, my kids, and me. It hurts me so bad that all I want to do is cry. I didn't want any of this to happen, but it did, and I have to live with the consequences, whatever they might be. Also, I want everyone to know how hard I am trying to get my life and family back. I know it's going to take a long time for Wheels to trust me, and I understand that completely. It will hurt, but again I have to live with that, and I will, whatever it takes to get me back and my family. I will do anything. Right now, I am terrified, because I know it won't be the same, but I want everyone to know that I love each and every one of you. All the help you are giving Wheels and I'm thankful that Wheels has family that are willing to help us any way they can. You guys have been there for us, and I want you to know how sorry I am that I did this to Wheels. I do love him very much. I want this to work out, and I know I can pull through this, especially if I have a family that loves me. Wheels is a wonderful person. Everything he did I know was for the family because he loved me and the kids. He truly is the best person I have in my life, and knowing what I did to him hurts me terribly inside. Not because I care for him, but because I love him. That is all I have been thinking about since I have been away. The things I did to Wheels and all the good things he did for me. I truly believe that Satan has been working on me very hard. I know that he is working on me now, and since I have been here it's been easier for me to turn away from him, because all I have to do is think of all the wonderful things Wheels has done for me and our kids. All I have to do is remember how he held me and how much I liked it, or the way he played with the kids, and the way he looked at me when I told a silly joke. I take full responsibility on the actions I have done and the pain I have caused for Wheels, and I am so grateful that we have a Savior who died for us so we can repent and come back with him again. I know that my Savior loves me still. I am his sister, and he is my brother, and I know he suffered for us. I keep saying that I can't give up on my kids, but now I am thinking I can't give up on my Savior, after all he has done for me. I love you, everyone. I love Wheels' parents for what all they have done, and I am so sorry, and I hope you guys can forgive me on what I did to your son. And I want Wheels' family to know that they are a part of me. I not only chose my family to be my family, but I also chose Wheels' family, all of you. I also want to apologize to my family. I know you guys love me, and I also know the pain and hurt you are feeling. The worst part of everything was knowing that I was hurting all of you. I did not want to do that. You are my eternal family. The family I chose to be with, no matter how hard of a life we had when we were little, no matter how difficult life was, we still had our faith. And knowing what I have done kills me, and I would do anything, for you guys to forgive me. I want H to know, even though he doesn't trust me, that I still do love you, and all those times I said that I didn't love you was all a lie. Deep down I knew I still loved you, but knowing what I was doing to you hurt me so bad that I had to force myself not to love you. Satan was telling me that it would be easier for me to just say that I only cared about you as a friend. But if I only cared about you as a friend and still had feeling of so much pain about what I was doing, it was all a lie. I know that now. Actually, I've always known it, but there was so much pain that I thought it would help, and guess what? It didn't. With everything I have learned about Satan, you would think I would know better. He is good, really good, and I know you don't want to see me, and I'm sorry, truly I am so sorry. I don't know how long it will take for you to accept my apology, but however long, I will be there. You have been wonderful, and I want you to know that I know we are meant for each other. I mean, come on. We are like water and oil. Smile. Blue, white versus yellow, red. I need a blue, white to help me balance in this life, to take more responsibility, and you need a yellow, red to look at all the fun things in life. And I know you want more boundaries, and I am totally fine with that. No more wow. Okay, gone. You want to go for walks and spend quality time together. Okay, no more Facebook. I won't make another account. No more MySpace. Okay, I can delete it. You want me to cook more? Great. More sucky meals to eat. Want me to get a full-time job? I'll find some crappy job down the road so I won't be far from the kids. Want me to cut my hair and wear no makeup? I will do anything. Whatever I have to do to get my family back. Wait, scratch that. I will do anything what the Lord wants me to do. I know what I have done, and I know right now I am on the right path to fix whatever I did that was wrong. Smile. Ever since I have been here, my views has changed completely. Sister and bro-in-law has been great. They have shared a lot of things to me that I needed. All I have been doing is reading and writing down my feelings, and thinking about all the good things I have in my life. I have only thought of OM once since I have been here, and that is because I had to write him an NC letter. That was it. Everything else was you, H. That is all I have been thinking about since I have been here at Sisters, and I want you to know that, even though you don't believe me. Knowing that I have told you makes me feel better, so let's just say it wasn't for you and that for me saying all this was all for me. An update. H and I are doing great. It has been 17 months since I came back home to fix my marriage. We are also planning a little vacation next year, just the two of us, to go to Hawaii for my brother's wedding. We are really excited about that one. Laugh. I still have my boundaries, and in some occasions when H leave a room and it's just me and one of our male friends, I feel awkward and end up excusing myself. I am also making sure that whatever I read or listen to will help with my positive attitude to make it better. My attitude will determine the life and marriage I really want. Since I have been home, I have been focusing more on my family, my 2 boys, my business, and my home. Every morning I wake up and do my devotional for about 15 minutes, where I read my books, Bible, and pray. I know working on myself only helps with every aspect of my life, with my children, with H, with my business, with my church, etc. My comment: what do you think of this OP? Comment down below and see you in the next one.